We got a lot to talk about, actually. We come back from a break. You can kind of talk about that, but first, we got merch coming on the way.
Be excited about that.
Oh,
we got
yeah.
merch coming, baby.
Oh yeah, we got merch. Maybe 2 weeks. We have a website for it, posted, everything like that. But we got a decent amount of designs, and yes, sir.
Kickstart 419.shop. Mental note.
Heard that. But you guys will see it. We'll post it everywhere. And then do a little overview on the break.
On the break, yeah, we took a little break for making videos and stuff with like work schedule and a lot of things kind of all piling up with the podcast. We want to give you guys good videos that aren't forced. We really want to let God lay something on our hearts and then spread it. So that's what we did. And this time, he laid relationships on our hearts. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. We're going to talk about the relationships, kind of what to look for.
Scratching the surface on what the Bible says
there's
about relationships.
There's a lot of stuff about it, and we couldn't fit it all in a 15-20 minute video. But if we need to do a part 2, put that in the comments or let us know or something.
Make sure you guys like and subscribe before we get started. And don't take anything we say like kind of literal. Like go research, dive into the word.
Don't let this be the only thing that teaches you about relationships.
Yeah, Jaden Kaysen said this, so I'm gonna make sure.
Word.
Yeah.
I mean, we've gotten in the word, we've gotten our information from the word. But
we're also kind of stupid because we stutter a lot. So first of all, we don't want to feel like we're bashing anyone, because this is we're gonna talk about lust and all those type of things, and we lived that. Like before we got saved, our relationships were nowhere near what a holy relationship should be. God was not the center. Okay, so we're gonna get started with 2 Corinthians 6:14. And this says, "Be ye not unequally yoked together with unbelievers, for what fellowship has righteousness with unrighteousness." So that is saying that having a believer and an unbeliever together, having a believer and unbeliever together, isn't gonna work out. You're gonna tell me what a yoke is.
A yoke. Wow, you really cut yourself off to tell me what a yoke.
Bro, there's no way.
It's funny because it's not funny anymore because it's the 4th time we've done this. What are you trying to tell us? What are you trying to tell us?
So shut up, like you mean shut up.
Put it on your phone.
I got bored.
30 seconds. So a yoke is a farming tool used way back when. They put it on the oxen, on their necks, and their heads, and it helped, pull. Each oxen was pulling equally, so the, farming tool could be pulled. And so that's the kind of tool they're talking about. If you put a small ox with a big ox, they're gonna pull unequal. If you put a fast ox with a slow ox, they're gonna pull unequal. So that's just the term yoke is talking about a tool for equal movement.
So back to what I was saying, you want to have a believer and a believer together because they'll help you with your walk with Christ, and they'll be kind of like an accountability partner. A big thing that I took away from this when I first started getting in the Word and all that from this verse was, I need to be on a certain level as someone else. Like, I need to know, if they know all this stuff, I need to know all that stuff too. We just need to be on the same level. But like, it's literally just saying, a believer, a really good, like, devoted believer, all, like, their whole life could be with someone that just gave their life to Jesus. Mm-hmm. Just because they have the same end goal, and that's to see Jesus, and that's kind of how the yoke's brought in, because they have the same end goal, and that's to finish the field. And a non-believer would, they could bring you down in your walk with Christ, like ask you to go to a party, and you could say, yeah, I might as well, I got nothing else to do. And then you could be put in that sinful scenario. It's not go as good because there's peer pressure, and then you might have a drink, and that might lead to more, and just a whole bunch of bad things that you don't gotta put yourself through if you would be equally yoked.
And that kind of takes me right into like true love.
Mm-hmm.
Like a relationship founded on God. You know, both parts equally love Jesus. You know, they push each other to the Lord. They hold each other accountable. Like, that is love. That is true love. Jesus is true love. Any form, any unequal relationship, unequally yoked relationship, any, you know, if you call yourself a believer and you know, are in a relationship with a non-believer, that isn't love. There can't be love both ways because Jesus is not the foundation. I used to think, you know, I thought this was a lot of people, you know, I could influence them. I can influence them to, you know, to follow Jesus. That's why I'm going to be with them, because I can influence them to, you know, turn to Jesus. And that's not at all how it works. We have to work on ourselves. We have to get our relationship right with Jesus. We have to know He is my priority. He is my life. He is my love before we try and give ourselves to somebody else. Because if you don't make sure that you love Him with your heart, all your mind, your soul strength, everything you could possibly give Him, and you try to give your heart to someone else too, it's not going to work.
Yeah.
It's not going to work.
Kind of building on that. Another verse for you. And Jesus answering said unto them, the children of this world marry and are given in marriage, but that's literally just saying marriage will not be in heaven, and marriage is just an earthly desire, and how we should prioritize God through our marriage, because marriage isn't going to matter in 80 years when we're in heaven.
Now, to flip it around, we've talked about how we need to prioritize God. We need to work on ourselves with God. Marriage isn't a thing in heaven. On the other side of that, Jesus wants you to enjoy the blessings that He gives you.
Yeah.
Jesus gives you things every single day. He wants you to enjoy them. He wants to see you be happy. That's what makes Him happy. And, you know, it says in Genesis, you know, fruitfully reproduce. Every animal, every fish, every bird, human, reproduce. And, you know, he wants you to have that companion. He wants you to have that fellowship, that relationship, an accountability partner. Like, He wants you to have that. One, it's good. It is a good thing.
It glorifies Him.
Yes, it glorifies Him. When you get married, you're making a promise to God. That marriage is a promise to God. It's all good things in His name.
Yeah.
Takes me to Kaysen's verse. Not my verse. The verse that I thought of. The verse that I studied. Ruth. If you haven't been in the book of Ruth before, I highly suggest that. It's very short, but it's good with relationships. So, Ruth 2:3. Ruth 2:3 says, so Ruth went out to gather grain behind the harvesters, and as it happened, she found herself working in a field that belonged to Boaz, the relative of her father-in-law. I like what it says, as it happened. And I was watching a study the other night, and he replaced as it happened with just so happened. Jesus just so happened to place Ruth in one of Boaz's fields. Ruth was getting prayed for that she would get her eyes opened that she would get a husband. You relax.
I'm tired, bro. What happened?
Ruth just so happened to be in the field that Boaz owned. One of Boaz's fields.
It's kind of like, it was kind of natural.
Yes. Which takes me right to the providence of God. Right here, we wrote it down. It says, when God uses natural circumstances to bring about his supernatural plans. God will put you in natural circumstances. God will put you in scenarios. God will put you in things
That literally seem normal.
that seem normal. And plans will form.
It's like puzzle pieces.
Things will happen. It's kind of like puzzle pieces. Of like a big puzzle.
So I pressed this about 4 times. I'm going to say it again today. Because we've filmed about 4 times today. But Jesus literally, like, if I look back and during my life, I'll see, like, I'll realize that this was a puzzle piece that got put into my puzzle, if you will. That got put in my puzzle. And it's just awesome seeing that he's always working.
Even in the trials and the tests, like,
You always gain something out of those.
yes, you're gaining faith, you're gaining trust, you're gaining, you can't. I find myself doing this actually. I pray for him to grow my faith, for him to help me grow my faith. And then when he does it, I'm confused. Like, I act like I don't know what's going on. When I just pray for him to help me grow my faith, and then he grows my faith, well, he puts me in a scenario to grow my faith. This is another verse I like. Matthew 13:44. It's the parable of the hidden treasure and the pearl. Jesus says, the kingdom of heaven is like a treasure that a man discovered hidden in a field. In his excitement, he hid it again and sold everything he owned to get enough money to buy the field. Now, Jesus is talking about the kingdom of heaven being a treasure in that. But I also think you can apply it to marriage and relationships. He went out, saw the treasure. He saw the good, the pure. He saw the treasure. He didn't care about anything else around it. He didn't care about the dirt, the trees, the weeds, and nothing. He saw the treasure. And I think a pure heart for God is a treasure. It's a treasure that we need to cherish. Especially when you see it in somebody else.
Yeah.
He went back, sold everything. He got rid of everything. So that he could have enough money to go back and buy the land that he knew the treasure was in. Still not caring if there was, all these thorny weeds around. No, he didn't care because he knew there was a pure treasure in that field. And so when we see someone with a pure heart, you're gonna get weeds, you're gonna get thorns, you're gonna get trees, you're gonna get the bads that you could say. Not necessarily bads, but you know what I mean. You're gonna get all the dirt. But you have that treasure, you have that pure heart to build off of.
Yeah.
And so that literally, I don't know, I really like that verse and I like to apply it that way.
So a lot of people think that their disagreements is what's going to ruin their relationship. Like, they can go a whole 4 months without arguing or anything, and then as soon as they have their first argument, they're like, oh my gosh, we're not made for each other and we're gonna break up. But that's not how it should be, because that argument is a trial. It's like how God gives us trials. We're gonna grow from that trial and be even better the next time it comes around and know how to overcome it.
And through that, making sure that you go to God first.
Yeah. Just prioritizing God. Going back to 2 Corinthians.
Exactly.
6:14.
Exactly. You can tell this person, I love you so much that no matter what happens, we're going to work through it together, just you and me. And if you never separate yourself for a little bit from them to give you time with just God and you, one-on-one, what answers are you really going to get? What peace are you really going to feel? If you don't take it to him first and be like, hey, this is what God told me. This is what God, helped me decide. This is the feeling God gave me. And that when you when you're able to tell somebody that, and you're able to be like, look, I don't know, exactly what's going on, but this is what God told me. If that person has a relationship with Jesus, and they truly care for that other person, they will understand, they'll know. That's where the difference is between a worldly relationship and a relationship built on God. It's just more, it's understanding, it's peace.
Yeah, it's so
and
much
true,
more peace. All right, stay in the loop for the merch
Heard.
coming soon.
Huh.
Thanks for watching. We're balling on a budget right now, as you guys can see.
We're not balling on a budget. We're making it cleaner. It's a little cleaner for you.
We're balling on a budget right now, so thanks for tuning in.
Yep.
Make sure you guys hit the like and subscribe button.
God bless.
Share this video, and Jesus loves you guys all. Every single one of you guys.
It was recording.
Yeah, if it was, I'm going home.